Goddamn DJ motherfucker.
Nah, it's people call me Malik.
Yeah, Malik.
Like I don't know how you got Malik out of that, Malik. Like I don't know, but the people it's people I've told 1,000 times that my name is Malik, and they'll still call me Malik, and so I don't even correct them. I'm just like, you know what?
You
That's
got it.
my name to you, then go ahead. I don't care. But yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Hot Seat Podcast. We welcome in Tay Ryan White.
How y'all doing, everybody?
The infamous. Can we call you producer? Is it safe to call you producer?
Yeah, you can call me. I mean, yeah, I've done all of it professionally, so I guess you can say that.
Okay. But yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on the Hot Seat Podcast for another episode. If you could just first off tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what the heck it is you're doing.
Okay. My name is Tay Ryan White. I am a creative director, choreographer, producer, executive producer, all of those good things. I'm born in New York, Upper East Side, Manhattan, raised in St. Petersburg, Florida, and currently residing in Los Angeles, California. Let's see, what am I doing? I'm doing some of everything and nothing because everything shut down here in California. So if you want to compare but everything in the sense that I think as of late, and something I think I talk about more so than anything else now is I'm doing a project. It's called It's Working. It is a film that I directed, executively produced, and it's basically to spread awareness of SARS and different things going on in Nigeria, and to encourage the people in Nigeria and also everyone across the diaspora. So yeah, that's pretty much what where my focuses are right now.
And
how'd you get into? Oh,
I'm pretty sure we had the same question. But what got you into that? Like,
yeah,
into that, what triggered you to say, you know what, I need to expose this in film format?
The crazy thing is that initially I was like, I didn't know where it came from. My head was just so in doing the work that I literally forgot why, like what was the first thing that sparked it. I just knew that I just had the drive to do it. I will definitely say that I feel like it's something that, like God just dropped on me, just like boom, everything else disappeared. And I was like, what in the world? I received a notice from a friend of mine, actually. Her name is Carly. And she was talking to me about, this is when like the SARS protests were really high, right? And you were hearing about it on Instagram and everything was just going big and everything like that. And she contacted me because someone from Nigeria contacted her, a friend of hers from Nigeria contacted her and was like showing her, these images, these videos of people running, like getting shot. I have like video of in my phone right now, people laying dead in the streets. Like I have pictures of people, with, their heads blown off, you know what I mean? Like, and she's shown these to me. And when she showed these to me, she was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. I feel helpless. I feel like I can't do anything. Like, what do I do? And I do know that it was in that moment that I feel like I received like the entire download of everything that needed to take place with the project that I was working on. And I know people say like, oh, that inspired it, but I really feel like the inspiration for it was there, but that aligned me with that inspiration so that I could really
spark the flame.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, what was your first reaction whenever you started seeing all this and seeing the pictures and images and everything?
Initially, I'll have to say, it was more like shock and numbness. It was shock, and it's crazy how you say the both. It was shock because numbness because, we in the United States were dealing with that, you know what I mean? And everything that was on Instagram, on TV, on the news, on everyone's pages, you were seeing everything, with George Floyd and the protests and Elijah McCain, all of the people that, were just handled so poorly, and Breonna Taylor, which I can't even go into that. You know what I mean? So you see all these things happening, and it's like, unfortunately, it just starts to become like oh, you just flip a newspaper. Here's another one of us. I
Normal.
feel like, okay, it's kind of like I felt like numb because I'm like, I feel like I'm on this conveyor belt and it's like,
Hmm.
there's another one going, so I just move up a notch, if that
Hmm.
makes any sense. Like, I'm like, oh, you just never know. I'm like, well, here we go. And then shocked because it was like, yo, wait, hold on. I know, you know, it's us, but it's on the whole nother continent, but it's still us.
Hmm.
So I was like, yo, it's bananas. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
So
that there was. I mean, I've heard, well, not even, I've heard reports of the law enforcement there, like bullying kids because they have a nice outfit on and arresting them, like locking you up
What?
because you have a nice outfit on, or locking you up because you have an iPhone. Like, I'm
yep.
like, it just brings to reality that saying, what you might think is bad for you is 10 times worse for
For
someone
someone
else.
else.
We deal with law enforcement here due to, racism and things like that. But over there, I'm like, it's your own kind bullying you, killing you because you have a nicer product than them, or you come off and look like a thug, or it's sad, man. It's sad. But talk us through your film a little bit. Like, what will this film consist of?
Well, the film, I guess explaining a little bit about what SARS is. SARS is a unit. I think they call it the dang,
It's like
it's the
special something something.
special anti-robbery
Hmm.
squad. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
I kind of been like trying to like not even give them much energy with the whole
Right,
situation.
nah,
But
for
Yeah.
real.
like a special anti-robbery squad, yeah, some type of that, yeah. So they are a unit that was set up because there was a lot of crime, apparently crime going on in Nigeria, and they wanted to have a unit they could set up to just do whatever that needed to be done, and not have to worry about anything.
Hmm.
And it sounds like, okay, they're going after all the bad people, but then it's like, okay, it turns out to be corruption there too. And I think that all of the things, even when you think about who they target, you know what I mean? To me, it's just a extension to me of white supremacy and how, of course we know about, the colonization of Africa and all those things. So, it's just a stem of all of those situations kind of like rolled out. And so you think of it as like it's your kind, but it's also like I feel like in their mind it's like a either I do this to you or someone does this to me type situation. And that's sad because we've dealt with that all throughout slavery, even in America. You had those one or two that was like, it's better to be dealing with, be on this side of it than to be on your side. And so it's sad, but it's kind of the reality. My film, my film in itself, it really honestly just highlights the idea of that, which I feel that what God put on my heart is that let everyone know that they are seen and they are heard and they are loved. And I think that what happens is, especially in situations like this, when things kind of erupt, we start to kind of walk away from the idea that there is a resolution coming. And I tend to think the opposite. I feel like with this eruption and with this exposure and with this light that's shown on it, it's being brought to the surface so that it can actually be cut off and be done away with. And my film basically highlights that. My film basically highlights to me the response of what's going on in God's world concerning us. And it is the idea. It's the song that we dance to. It's my cousin JJ Harrison sings a song with Tim Godfrey. It's
Okay.
called "It's Working," and Onaga, "It's Working." And so that's the song that we use, and that's the title of the film. It's working, basically meaning that everything that we're going through now and all the stuff that's been happening,
Working
that
together.
it's still coming together for our
Hmm.
good. Like we are going to end up on top, and by we I mean people who are oppressed. We I mean people who feel like they're tired. All of those things. Like there's help coming. I do believe that change is definitely on the rise, even though people may feel like it's different. Like I've talked to a lot of Nigerians, um, and they feel the same way. It's like it's like they've never seen that many people protesting before. It's like people who like Nigerians. I spoke to this one. Actually, I had some interviews with some Nigerians as well, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But one of the ones I interviewed, her name is Dr. Ndidi Amada. Her dad actually fought in one of the wars there, and
Mm.
he said as long as he's been in Nigeria, as long as he's been alive, he's never seen that many people out protesting. So it's
Wow.
already showing that things are working. It's just that it's the time and it's when things go through. I don't know all of that, you know what I'm saying, or when it's going to happen, but I know that it's definitely closer now than it's ever been.
Definitely, and
What do you hope people?
just to piggyback off of that right quick, I've heard different things. It's always about speculation. People have their in other countries about what America is, and things like that. But I've heard that, Jesus Christ, I can't think of the country now, but I heard that they don't really get along like that, and this kind of brought them together in a sense of like fighting together and trying to get this corruptness out of the country. And, I just thought that was very powerful to see that, something, it's bad that something evil has to bring it all together, but it's good to see now that they're all, one. And so I thought that was
I try not to comment too much because I don't know all the facts, but
right.
I think most people like the Igbo Nigerians, they're Nigerians, and they're like, well, I'm Igbo, and they it's a lot of different things that was going on, with the land and the purity of all that, and I think that what's happening now is all of that is like being put not even on the back burners. Like everyone is really assuming the respect and respecting each other in their respective places now, and I think that is something that's really, really, really it's helping. It's that unification is really causing a big stir, and I think that the youth of Nigeria, they said we've had enough, and ain't nothing more important. None of this other stuff we got going on is more important than giving a 1-2 to these mofos right here with all this, and we need to get this stuff done.
And with your film, what do you hope people take away when they see that? What do you hope they take away from it?
Man, awareness, encouragement, and identity. I think that in dealing with all this stuff, us included, us over here in the United States, we ain't no different. When we're seeing ourselves being killed and we're seeing, we're being treated completely, disproportionately treated unfairly, you have a tendency to believe what you see. And when you see all these things happening to yourself, you think that I'm lower, or I'm not respected, or, that I'm being disregarded. And that might be the case for certain people or certain whatever they feel, but that's not the reality. And I think that I was telling someone today that I'm kind of, developing a little bit of an art with the terms living your truth, because I think that we tell certain truths to ourselves based off of what we're seeing. And what we're seeing is not the truth. How we're being treated is not the truth. It's not accurate. So I think that if we live in that truth, then we start to live less than where we are or where we should be. And so in the aspects of the identity, and throughout the film, you'll see so many different places where it's like, wait a minute, what is this? And I like to think about the characteristics of God, outline. I'm a Bible boy, in case y'all didn't know. The characteristics of God, and providing, healing, victory, all those things. And I feel like if you are a human being, you have access to those regardless, because that is just, we're made in that image. So we have access to all of those things. It's just that we have to choose to focus on those and choose to walk after them. And that's why I'm like, okay, yeah, let's start showcasing these properties. The film is a dance film. It's all dance, and it's you can definitely see based off of what's going on, the storyline, and coming from a place of seeking this cry for help and receiving this answer of encouragement and enlightenment and this boost and this kind of recentering, and then given the power to move forward and create action. Okay. And I think that that's what we're living in right now.
Okay. And to piggyback off of what you said, how do you, you're trying to bring healing and, all the stuff that you touch on, how do you keep yourself, positive to keep working on this with, seeing those images and talking to those people? How do you keep yourself, good spirits?
Well, I'll have to say I've been on this journey since COVID 2020 of self-reflection and healing. So there's been a lot of things that I've had to evaluate, and I've had to really put things in order in my life. And I think that the reason why I'm able to be positive now, or even more so than positive, more so focused on this goal, is because I've decided that the thing that is placed in my heart that I'm supposed to do, that has to be done first. And I have to give all of my energy and all of my focus to that thing. And I can't do it if I'm believing a lie about myself. I can't do it if I'm believing a lie about my brother or sister, even my enemy. At the end of the day, I have to stay focused on that. Otherwise, it's all going to fall apart. And it's bigger than me. It's way bigger than me. And when you know that you're doing something that's bigger than you, there's this underlining fire that just keeps burning. And even though you might feel like it's about to go out, when you know that it's bigger than you, you can look for things outside of yourself to keep you motivated and going. So is that a shift?
You speaking to me, man.
Definitely. Heck yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. I wanted to throw in there, if you're looking for any characters, any actors,
This guy.
You say what? Okay, bet. Cool. I'll come out there. But I want to talk a little bit about the logistics side of it. You're living in LA, and I kind of want to, backtrack to kind of what got you into, cinematography. I just learned this word. I didn't learn the word, but it was a tongue twister in my last interview. But what got you into this? And it's funny that we're speaking to a lot of people who are doing film and things like that, acting and all of that. But tell me a little bit, like, what got you into that?
Well, if I just be straight up honest, I feel like watching movies as a kid got me into it. I've always had this idea of storytelling ever since I was a child. I would, take my toys and make whole little situations going on and just like make stories and just go along with it. I'm sure we all did, but like mine was like, I would play like my Power Rangers video game. I would take the sound effects and the music in it and turn it on and then do stuff to the music and then put on the sound effects and stuff. I had it all situated. And I just knew that I was going to go down into the sewers and find the Ninja Turtles and I was going to make a movie on them too. Like, I just knew that. Like, so that's where the spark for it and the love for it came from there. However, working at it in more so on this context, I will say that it was my move to California that did that for me.
I was gonna say that, like, so, and I mentioned the LA part at first, and I got sidetracked with the behind the growth of it. But you're living in LA, and you hear so many people when they're living in LA, they come up with an idea, and you just walk outside and you just put it together. Like, what is it like living in LA where you can just wake up, the night before you have an idea, you wake up the next day and you go put the pieces together and now you have a film? Like, what is that like?
It's a little surreal for me, honestly. It's a little crazy to know that is, that is, you have the power to do that. You have the ability to do that, and you have the know-how to do that. I think that sometimes LA has this quotation mark thing around it, right? That everyone's like, oh, it's LA. You know what I'm saying? And I think that one thing that helped me to be able to transition even was to not come out here thinking that I was going to take over a land that was established before I was born. It was to humble myself, to learn the space I was in, but also make sure that it wasn't a false humility that stripped me of what I knew I was capable of. And there's a balance between that. It is actually very difficult to hold on to, especially in a place where everybody around you is pretty good. You know what I mean? There are some people who, you know what I mean, like, they're not professional level, but they have a look, or they're not professional level, but they have a knack for it. But they realize where they are and they work where they are. It's like they get a hold of their niche and they flow in that. And that is something that you can even learn from with that. So there's always so many things to pick up. And I think that's the best part about being in LA. More so than the people who have already made it. And, you get to see them, you're walking down the street or you're in, the grocery store, and you're like, oh look, I was walking through Target one time, and I'm pretty sure that I saw Brad Pitt or something like that. I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
Oh,
My man is like, huh. And then like, or if you're at a party, don't go to a party, because if you ever go to a party, you're gonna see everybody, and you're like, hey, just the hood. So I mean, it just gets to the point where it's like you have to just really reverence the opportunity. And when you reverence the opportunity, it's like, okay, that reverence for me outshines even the place where I'm at. You know what I mean? The reverence of the place is not, I'm not going to get starstruck on this place. I'm a reverence the opportunity that I have to do what I do. And being able to grab hold of that it's crazy. It's surreal.
Definitely. And that's, I don't want to put all my business and stuff out there, but LA is just one of those, I just feel like it's like motivation. You see everybody around you kind of hustling and bustling, and it just motivates you to be like not about, just materialistic things, but you see someone driving a Rolls Royce truck, you're like, how'd they get that? I got to work harder, like you might think you found the piece to the puzzle, and then you see something else that you like, and you're just like, it's like, but it's not always about materialistic things, but as far as, chasing your goals and the connections and stuff that's out there, and just being in a big city in general, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said you want a milestone, so that makes sense. Some people, they measure, it's not necessarily a measure of the success, but it is the idea of knowing that I have the ability to do to
right.
go. That's cool. It's either, like I was telling people before, it's either going to motivate you or it's going to discourage you, and you got to pick which side of the line you're going to stand on.
Yep.
And you had mentioned kind of you started off with your toys and the Power Ranger thing. How'd you gain your confidence? Moving into this arena of some cinematography.
Well, I have to say that my confidence really, honestly, wasn't in my ability to know cinematography. Like, it wasn't in that. I grew up on the East Coast in St. Pete with Suzanne Pomerantsev, who is a ballet teacher. She started teaching me a dance ballet, and because I'm training on pretty much every style of dance. I just don't tap. I want to learn, though. I am learning.
It's lit.
But like being around her and how straight up she was, like she wasn't mean or nasty or anything like that, but she just straight up told, she would, a smile on her face would tell you that looked horrible. And it's like,
that
once
northern
you
personality.
Hear that, yeah, like, but once you hear that, you're like, oh, okay. You start to like stop taking things personally. That's the first, like, stop taking things personally. Like literally just knowing that, like, even at the end of the day, even if what I look at, I love it, but somebody else hates it, that's their opinion. And it's not their truth, it's their opinion. And I think that if you're living in your truth and people think that it's their truth, like my truth is that I don't like it. Okay, cool. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that you don't like it. So if I start adapting to what you think is true about me and my talent, then it's like I start adapting your truth as the truth instead of just putting it where it needs to be. No, that's your opinion. So filing through opinions and all of those things from my upbringing helped me to understand, like, okay, not to say, oh, I'm just gonna put out some poo and then think it's gonna be good and say it's good. Nah, no, that ain't it. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But like really saying, okay, cool, I'm gonna do the work to study what I need to know. I'm gonna use my resources. I'm gonna find people who I know what they're talking about, and ask questions. And once I get that information and just give myself, just the ability to practice it a little bit more, to fine tune it, be open to constructive criticism, not being so sensitive. Lord have mercy. Don't be sensitive. Jesus, please get your feelings off your shoulders. And yeah, from there, it's like there's nothing else left but to do it. And so that comes across as confidence, but in all actuality, it's just follow through. Like, I can't really sit back and say I'm a cinematographer and I'm a filmmaker and da-da-da because I'm so confident. It's like, no, it's like I don't have time to even say all that. I'm too busy doing what I do.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I always say it's great to take some of that negativity sometimes and keep it in your back pocket and like see how you can better it sometimes. And like you said, choosing people who is good at what they do. And if they say it's crappy, then all right, like how can I make this better, But it's like you said, taking your emotions and all that other stuff and taking it as like constructive criticism and not as like a hating type of thing, or as a like, oh, I just suck at this, let me just quit now before I get even worse, or what, like, you know. But
even if they are hating,
yeah,
like, even if they can be literally just looking for something to just have something to say, and you gotta be like constructive criticism. You literally gotta be like, okay, so this is what people are looking at. This is what people are. Okay, that, let me look at that. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I could have shifted this around too. Okay. Note for next time. You know what I'm saying? It didn't kill you. You still got out a product. Move on to the next thing. And I think that that's something, just specifically for me being African American, and us being African Americans, I feel like there is an appearance. So I'm not going to say this is fact, because I'm just going to talk about my opinion. There's an appearance that we haven't been given the opportunity to fail upward. Fail upward, like make mistakes, and then still have a platform to come back to after we've made the mistake. It's like, once you made the mistake, it's like, oh, no, move out the way, blah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that that is something that I want to choose to adopt, because that one thing for me has kept ideas in me and not pushed out because I was afraid of making mistakes, to the place where I was like, I'm full of ideas to the part where my head is hurting. I have to get it out now, you know? But now I'm getting it out all out of season, because it was supposed to be out a little bit ago, but because I was afraid to make a mistake, I didn't do it. I don't care who's giving you criticism, who's hating on you, who, what, where, when, why, whatever.
He's dropping gems today. What?
Yeah, you can be Beyonce out here and people still gonna find a reason to hate you. Like, I mean, you can't make everybody happy, and even if you are making 99.9% of the people happy, that 0.1 is still. And for some reason, human characteristics, we always look at that one hate, and we just hate it. Like we
dwell on it.
Yeah, you just dwell on it.
Beyonce got her head caught in a fan. She fell down the stairs. She hopped off. She was on the Super Bowl and hopped down. But you know what she did? But a lot of people don't do? She got up and kept going.
Kept going. Yep.
And that right there is like, you cannot stop crazy stuff from happening. You cannot stop it from happening. I think there's a scripture in the Bible that says that offense must come. But it's like, but whoa, or like to it comes through and by, like, people having to actually have that negativity on them to give to you means that they have an abundance of negativity on the inside of them. That's their problem, not yours. So you gotta like have that, like, dang, I gotta get up, I gotta keep going. You know what I mean?
Just sprinkling them gems all over.
Yeah, before we wrap up, what was that?
It's all these lessons I've learned. So I have, you know, that's what we edit that, cut that. You can
cut that out.
He cut out my age, y'all. It's okay.
But nah, so when's the final date? When can we expect this film? And how can people get a hold of you through social media, and you know where you're most active?
So we will be releasing, the film will be released at the top of the new year. So keep an eye out on my social media. I am Tay Ryan Official on all social media platforms. TAIRYANOFFICIAL. Tay Ryan Official. And that's on every single platform. You can find it there. And I'm going to be starting to roll out, doing some rollouts for it too. Some interviews that I've had with some Nigerian people, some first generation Nigerians, some people born over there, some people who are, I think, leaving to go over there now, actually. So it's going to be a rollout. So you're going to see a lot of information. We're going to bring the knowledge and the wisdom of what's happening too. So it's not like you just see a film and that's it. Get the purpose of it, get some understanding, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the Hot Seat Podcast. We'll definitely cut out, you know, certain parts. I'm not even going to say what it is, but we'll cut out those parts. Listen, guys.
Appreciate you for dropping gems.
If you want that exclusive interview, head on over to this link. It'll be linked down below now.
It's fine. It's fine. Somebody going to find out anyway.
But yeah, we appreciate you coming on here. Like David said, man, dropping gems. It's always needed. You never know who's listening.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you opening up your platform for me to come in and share this. It's really important.
Heck yeah. Well, we're best of luck to you. We're over here rooting for you, and we'll definitely be on the lookout for this film.
Yeah.
It's working, you guys. It's coming out.
Yes, sir. Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. Happy tax season is coming. Especially for all of us who didn't get their tax check from last year.
Listen, they need to come on with the stimulus check. That's all I'm about to say.
Man, get out here. $600 for what?
Nah, Trump said $2K. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Oh, yo. You know good well they not approving that. He did that on purpose. He was like, hey, why don't you just give him $2K?
Man, listen.
I need that, bro.
Yo, but if they say yes and he turn around and say 5, I know he playing.
Yeah. But listen, hey, Trump, man, do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. We don't like you, but this might, bump you up a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Right before you leave office. Yeah, we appreciate it, man. We'll see you later, and we'll definitely keep in contact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you again, you guys.
See you later, man.
All right.
Goddamn DJ with a nugget.